How's it going guys? Chris here, bringing you yet another Battlefield Hardline weapon guide. And I'm going to be covering a different robbery DLC weapon today, and that weapon comes in the form of a somewhat familiar F2000 for the operator class. Not only does the gun look and sound like it's from the future, it also has its own swanky looking 1.6x zoom scope that automatically replaces the iron sights, and it can only be used on the F2000. Costing a fairly large price of $51,000, the weapon certainly isn't cheap, and you'll only be able to use it by playing as one of the bad guys. Anyway, what's good about the weapon? Well, there's quite a few things really. One factor that stands out quite prominently is the fire rate. Shooting rounds at a speed of 900 RPM, the F2000 is the cheater of the assault rifles. It's the fastest firing gun of all the operator weapons, and it takes no prisoners in one-on-one gunfights. Because the gun fires so fast, it's quite easy to spray your enemies with a shower of metallic death. They won't have loads of time to react, and quite often it means you'll be walking all over anyone at closer to medium ranges with your head held high, providing that you're aiming in the right place of course. To complement this speedy RPM is the weapon's overall damage and range. The F2000 has a maximum damage of 28, which drops off at a decent range of 40 meters, and its minimum damage is 18 at 60 meters or over. So it's on par with the M16A3 and the M416. This is pretty good, and it means that the gun can kill someone at closer ranges in 4 bullets and up to 6 bullets at a distance. As the F2000 fires quicker than the other guns, it's quite easy to get those 4 to 6 bullets to land a bit faster, and so you just might come out on top in more firefights. With the range being good too, it also means that you should be able to perform better than some of the other guns at slightly longer distances and at medium ranges. Now, the gun isn't perfect, though it really doesn't have anything extremely negative about it. Though because the gun is firing so fast, you'll find yourself reloading quite a lot, and the reload times aren't exactly the fastest. Especially that quick reload where there's still bullets left in your clip, as this clocks in at about 2.85 seconds, quite a bit slower than most of the other assault rifles. And because you'll be reloading quite a lot, this can sometimes be a big drawback in the heat of battle. Another thing that I should point out is the gun's recoil. Although it isn't exactly terrible, it certainly can be a bit erratic at times. It's got an upwards movement of 0.53, a rightwards movement of 0.27, and a leftwards movement of 0.25. Both the left and right recoil patterns almost cancel each other out, and eliminates any specific directional drifting, but this also means that the gun can be a little less predictable. So as far as the attachments go, just to make life a little easier and to help drop the gun's overall recoil down, I'd opt for the muzzle brake. It's gonna not only drop the horizontal recoil by 50%, but it'll also help with the vertical recoil by dropping that by 18%. This should make the gun more accurate over slightly longer sight lines and give you some better accuracy. Though I wouldn't completely rule out the compensator for this one. It might increase the horizontal recoil slightly, but by lowering that vertical recoil by 40%, it could make the gun more controllable to use, especially at closer ranges. It might not be super accurate, but at closer ranges, because the gun fires so fast, accuracy isn't as important to the F2000 as it would be for a slower firing gun, as you're going to be spewing bullets out faster than you can keep track of, and so you can essentially spray and pray your targets up close. Chances are that so long as your sights are lined up with the enemy, it shouldn't be long before they go down, even if a few bullets miss in the process. Now, because the F2000 is designed to fire in full auto and shoot more bullets out in shorter times, the Stubby Grip could be a great option to pick. It'll drop that spread increase per shot down by 50%, making your bullet groupings more accurate and closer together. This might help you gain back some of that lost accuracy if you've also picked the compensator. Plus, the Stubby Grip usually works well on weapons that fire at quicker speeds in automatic fire, due to the amount of bullets being shot out and the overall drop in spread decrease per bullet fired. You're going to be mainly shooting the weapon over longer durations, rather than tap firing, and the Stubby should help you out in these situations. So in conclusion, the F2000 is a super speedy bullet hose, and a great weapon for taking on enemies at close to medium ranges. It's got a pretty good damage to range ratio, and there isn't anything really too bad about it that's going to completely ruin your experience with it, though you do have to take into account that the speed at which you're firing, and the amount of bullets that you'll be using in shorter times. The magazine size is a standard 31 rounds, but it'll deplete rapidly, and the F2000 doesn't really have a brilliant reload time. The recoil can be a bit inconsistent at times, and it might be a bit hard to hit targets at longer ranges, but it's not too crazy, and in most firefights it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So that's all folks, make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, just to show me that you did, and if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do that to see more on Battlefield Hardline and loads more on everything else. So guys, take it easy, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.